Okay, year seven. So, the first thing I'd like us to do before we even do any writing this lesson is have a look at this picture and imagine that we are in this room. I want you to think about what you can see around you, what you can hear happening, and what you can smell. How would it feel to be in this room? Have a look really closely at this picture. So, you can see some cows in the foreground, you can see some animals, a fire. Hanging from the ceiling are some meats over the fire. There's lots of people kind of moving around in the back of that room. So pause the video now and have a really good think about what you can see, hear, and smell in this image. Okay, so the reason we are thinking about this image is because we're thinking about life in a medieval village, and that is a classic image of a medieval home at this time. So we're going to be trying to understand what people did in a medieval village and how they lived. And a huge part of that was farming. Farming was a way of life for many. Medieval farming, by our standards, was very basic. Medieval farmers or peasants had no access to tractors or combine harvesters or any of that kind of technology. Farming tools were very old fashioned, and peasants had specific work to do in each month of the year. This was called the farming year, and it was really important that they followed this so that they would have enough food. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy down the headings for each of these boxes. So you've got these black boxes and there's a heading in each one. So you've got the Lord's work, harvest time, women's work, life or death, and tools and machines. Copy down the heading, and underneath that heading, you are going to make a list of keywords to do with that heading. There is also a challenge task if you finish that. Pause the video now to do that. Fantastic. So the next thing we're going to be thinking about is, did farmers have a hard life? So I've given you 3 points about farming. I want you to use the information from the previous task to check if these statements are true. So you can go back in the video, you can have a look at what was on there. And if you think these statements are wrong, rewrite them so that they are correct. Okay, so you can lay this out however you want. I've done it as a table like this, but you can lay it out differently if you want to. And there's a challenge task if you have finished that. You want to spend about 10 minutes on this, but if in that 10 minutes you finish it, you can move on to the challenge task. Pause the video now to do this. Okay, so final task for this lesson. So we've got our character here who says farmers had an awful life. They did all their work by hand and they had no machines. Men did not get any help from the women. Starvation was always around the corner. Do you agree with this? Explain your answer. I'd like you to write at least 4 sentences about whether you agree with this or not. Once you finish that, you finish the lesson. Thank you very much.